Today's video is to answer the question that I heard the most. Why my art doesn't sell? Hello artists, welcome to my channel. I'm Suira and I will help you to become a full-time artist. Today our video is talking about all the things that you do wrong and why you're not selling because of these things. It's 5 very common mistakes that I see a lot of artists doing over and over and over again. And actually they are super easy to fix. And fixing them, you can start to sell your art today. So come with me and I will explain these 5 things that you can fix to start to sell your art today. If you like the idea, stay with me, and in the end I will give you an extra one, a pro tip for you to fix it today. So to start, well, why my art doesn't sell? That's the most frequent question I ever heard. Every single artist has this problem, at least in the beginning. You can be a musician, you can be a dancer, you can be a sculptor, a painter, a movie director, whatever. Your art needs to sell to pay your bills, right? If you want to be a full-time artist, you need to have money coming in. And to do that, you need to sell your art. Yeah, I know that sounds a little bit obvious, but the 5 tips that I will give to you, they're all connected with this core problem. Okay? Problem number 1, you are not thinking about your audience. You are thinking about yourself. This is a very, very common mistake. Most of the artists see their art like an expression, something that they know that they need to show to the world, something that they need to put out over their souls. And this is not wrong. This is completely fine. And I totally understand that art is about that. However, when you become a professional artist that sell your art as a business, you need to know what people want to buy. You need to know for whom you are producing your art. Because there's nothing wrong with you producing your art because you love that, because you're expressing yourself. You can't produce art like that. What you cannot is imagine that someone has to take their money to buy your art because you see that this art is valuable. When we produce art to sell and we have this as a goal, we need to understand that we are selling to another person. We are giving value to another person. So this person can connect with this artwork and they can buy it. So if I'm just thinking about myself when I produce my art piece, it will be really hard for another person to look to this art piece and see that this piece were made for her or for him. So what should I do? I should produce to my audience, not to myself. I need to understand my audience. I need to understand what they want. I need to understand what their challenges. I need to understand what their goals. I need to understand how they feel, what's the emotions that they have. So when I produce my art piece, I'm communicating with this person. Artists see their art as an expression, something that comes from the inside, something that they don't know exactly how it will be in the end, something that they cannot control. So when they finish the artwork, they are just waiting for someone to have the same connection that they have with that piece, so this person can buy it. However, what happens? It's not exactly the same. People are different, so what is really interesting for me maybe is not so interesting for you. When we need to have an audience who buys our artwork, we need to have this in mind. We need to have this audience in mind, not just ourselves. And this is the most important thing when you start that you need to change your approach. You are not producing for yourself. You are producing for another person. You are producing for your audience. And how it works? Well, most of the artists imagine that it's just art if it's something completely pure without any adjustment. And I totally agree with that. Art can be that as well. However, if you want people to purchase and put money on your talent, they need to feel that these art are for them. It's really naive to imagine that someone will take their valuable money and put this money in something that they don't connect with. Because if I'm producing something for myself, it's really hard for someone that is different to connect with that in the same way that I will connect with that. So I understand that more than the piece of art, the artists carry a very strong message inside. I'm changing this person's life. That's what the art is about. Changing someone's life. When I produce something thinking about that person that will buy, it will be so much easier for this person to connect with this art piece and decide to buy it from me. So the next time that you're producing something, don't think just about yourself. Don't put all the spotlights on you and imagine yourself as an artist on top and all the other people are distant. Because if you do that, your art will be distant for these people. And because it's distant, there's no connection. And if there's no connection, you will not sell. You need to first imagine your perfect audience. What is the person that really connects with you? What's the person that has the same kind of values that you have, that believes in the same things, that stands for the same ideas that you do? And then you draw for this person. You compose your songs for this person. You make your movies for this person. Put your audience in front of you and make your art for them. So they will see value, they will see the connection, and they will buy from you. Problem number 2, you are not communicating your message in the right way. Well, I talked before that we need to think about our audience. So make art is just think about the others and about myself. I'm an artist, right? I need to show what is inside me. I need to show what is in my mind. I need to show what I feel, right? Exactly. That's exactly why you are an artist. You have a message and you need to show this message to the world. That's the most important thing that an artist can do. Your message is unique. You are unique because of your message. So, when you draw an art piece or when you compose a new song, your message should be in these art pieces. If you are in favor of love, if you are in favor of freedom, if you are in favor of rock and parties and dance, it doesn't matter. It's part of who you were. It's part of how you think and how you feel. This is part of your message and should be not just in your lyrics, not just in your when you're deciding what kind of picture you will take, what kind of photo you will take, what kind of design you will make. No, you need to explain for people why this art piece is connected with your message. And how you do that? Using your words. Now we have lots of different platforms for you to do that. You can use your social media, you can use YouTube, you can use your website. If you have an exhibition, you can put a brief of each one of your art pieces with them. So when someone goes and see your creation, they also can read why you produce that art, why that's important for you, what does it mean. Some people say that art should not be explained. I don't believe in that. I think that when you explain what is on your mind when you're creating that, people can feel like you feel. Because again, we are different. If you feel in a certain way when we see an apple, maybe I don't feel in the same way. And if you don't explain to me how you feel, it's really hard for me to understand that. However, if you put your apple as your art piece, a photo of an apple for example, and you put a little brief and you put a little text about why this is so important for you, why did you create this art piece, what is your inspirations come from, now I can understand that. Now I can feel it. Now when I look to this apple, for me this is a special apple. It means something. So please communicate your message. Put your message in every place you can. In your social media, in your website, in your exhibitions, in your interviews. Every time that you have the opportunity to communicate your art, also communicate your message. People will connect with your message. So they will connect with you. 3. You are just acting passively. This is really common. Most of the people say, okay, so I have this message, I have these art pieces, I have my social media. I will post every single day. And people will appear. Well, it's not exactly like that. When you go to internet, it's something like you are going to a city. Imagine that when you open your account in Instagram, you are open a store in this little town, okay? If Instagram has, I don't know, 3 million accounts, you have one store in a city that have 3 million stores. How can you expect that people will just find where you are? You need to promote. You need to be active with your business. You need to interact with your market. Look around and see who are the other artists here. Who are the people that can buy from me? Who is my audience? Who is my target? Try to understand this little town where you are. Try to talk with these people that goes and then attract these people to your account. You can do that going to other accounts. You can do that with marketing research. You can send emails to people. You can send DMs to people. It's a social media, right? So use this media to socialize. If you are just posting and waiting for something to happen, it's really possible that nothing will happen. Can you imagine yourself in that little town? Well, maybe not so little, with these 3 million other stores. How someone will find you? How someone will see that you are different from the others? Especially if you are a little store and there is this huge mall close to you. Some account has thousands, millions of followers. And if you're starting today, it's really possible that you don't. So how can you imagine to compete with that in a passive way? You need to be active. You need to know what you want and go after that. You need to talk to people. You need to say your message. You need to show your pieces. Be brave. Go after the things that you want. Don't wait for them. 4th, you are not offering your work. Yeah, this is really common as well. People go to social media or people go to internet in general and sometimes they talk with the others. They talk with other artists, they talk with the target market, they talk with everyone. But what are you talking? What is the content of the things that you're talking? Because if you're just talking about your message, it's super great, but no one will know what you're really selling. If my message is about that everyone should be seen as equal, that's amazing. I can say this over and over again in several different ways, and I can attract people that think the same thing that I do, and they start to follow me and we start to engage with them, and everything is perfect. But they don't know what they are selling. If they don't know what are you selling, they will never buy from you, right? It's really hard for you to buy something that you don't know that is for sale. So how you solve this problem? Well, you need to say what you're selling. You need to give prices. You need to give descriptions. So, for example, you are a singer and you just released your new album with 10 country songs. I bet that you have a price for these songs. It's not just about you showing your songs, you say that you have a new album, you show the pictures, you need to say the price, you need to tell people how they can buy from you, where they need to go. Do they need to go to your website? Or maybe to the Spotify? Or maybe you were selling in the Apple Store? How can they have access to you? Where they need to go? How much they need to spend? What kind of payments do you accept? Do you accept credit card or PayPal or cash? People will never figure out if you never tell. So it's important to talk about your message. I'm not saying that's not, but I also need to talk about your offer. And when you're talking about your offer, you're talking about your product, you're talking about the benefits that your product have, and you're talking about the price that your product have and how people can pay this price for you. So don't forget about your offer. Offer your product with prices, with descriptions, and with payment forms. The mistake number 5 is you are not constant. You are not constant. And this has a lot of meanings. Maybe you are not constant because, you decide to use your Instagram, but one day you post, the other you don't. And then you stay without posting for 1 week, and then you start to post every single day, and then you vanish from Instagram for a month, and then you're back. People don't know what to expect from you because sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. When you are building a fan base, these people start to have a relationship with you. So they start to wait some things from you. They start to wait that you'll be there posting new content, that you'll be there talking to them, that you will be there showing part of your life. That's why they are there. They want to interact with you. But if you vanish one day and then it takes a long time to be back, and then you come again and stay a lot in your Instagram and post every single day, you have 1,000 of stories, and then you vanish. Well, it's really hard to be a fan of someone like this. So if you decided that you will use your Instagram to talk to people, be in your Instagram constantly. Be in your YouTube constantly. Or even if you have live events and we start to, I don't know, maybe you are a DJ and every single Saturday you are playing in this hotel. Great, be there every single Saturday. You need to be constant. People need to wait something for you. It's not once, twice, or 3 times. They need to see that you will always be there for them. But, well, be constant can also means that maybe you're always there, but you change a lot. You change your personality, you change your values, you change what you're offering. One day you go there and as a DJ, you go to this event on Saturday, and one day it's all about rock and roll. So people that loves rock and roll start to get interested in you, interested in your work, and they start to follow you. However, next month you start to play again and now it's all about pop. Really? People that loves rock and roll, maybe they don't like pop. And people that will love pop, maybe they didn't like what you had before because it was rock and roll. What will happen? Well, if you build some fan base with your rock and roll, now this fan base will goes away and you start to build another one with pop. But if in the third time that you come there, you start to play just techno, well, you're going to lose the pop fans and we start again with the techno fans. And well, every time that you start with a little bit at a time. It means that you never have a huge number of fans that can buy your art and they can support your work. You need to be constant in what you're offering. Know what you're offering. Know who wants to buy that, who is your audience, who is your target, and produce for them. Being constant in frequency and in topics, so they know what they expect from you and you deliver exactly what they want. So this relationship can be stronger and stronger and stronger. Your connection can be even better every time, and this will translate in capital, in money for you. When you're selling your tickets, you're selling your songs, you're selling your artwork, you're selling your merchandise. There's a lot of ways to make money with your art. But people need to know what they expect from you and you need to deliver what they are expecting. Well, that's the 5 tips that you can solve right now. You can sit right now and ask yourself if you're doing all these 5 steps. Ask yourself if you know who is your audience and if you're producing for this audience. Ask yourself what's your message, your main message, and see if you're talking about this message all the time. Check if you are offering your product. If you're talking about prices, if you're talking about how people can pay you or where people can buy your art, check if you're being active, if you're really going after the things that you want and you are not just sitting waiting for things to happen. And be constant all the time in your message, in your public, in your frequency. Well, I told you that I would give you a pro tip if you stay with me right now. And my pro tip that would be the problem number 6 is you don't have a plan. You don't have a system. Yeah, that's right. If you don't know where you're going, well, any path is worth it, right? So you need to know where you're going. You need to know what's your goal in life and what's the goal for your work. If you never sit down and imagine where do you want to go, you'll never get there. And when you decided where you're going, you need to have systems. You need to have patterns that you follow to deliver your work with quality and on time. If you need to be constant, you need to plan to be constant. For example, you decided that you will post every single day about your photography work. Okay, that's amazing. That's exactly what you should be doing. But we're gonna post every single day. Do Do you have an idea what type of content you will put online every single day? If you don't think about that before, it will be pretty hard to keep with that. Because some days we're so inspired. You have all the ideas, you know exactly what you want, you know exactly what you want to post, you have a lots of different new images, but it's not every day that's like that. There are some days that you just want to be in your bed watching a B movie and eating ice cream. I know, I've been there, and not just in my PMS. So in this day, you also need to be posting. In this day, you also need to be interacting with your fans. You need to be composing your songs. You need to be taking new pictures. You need to be creating new dance. You are an artist and you need to be an artist every single day for your fans. You live for your fans. So you need to plan that. You need to have some kind of routine that you know what you're doing on Monday, on Tuesday, Wednesday, so on. And it's not just that. What kind of system do you have? For example, let's say that you are this photographer and you need to produce new photos to post these photos or to sell these photos in posters. Amazing. When are you going to take these pictures? And after you take these pictures, what you do with that? I bet you need to put some treatment in these pictures. And you need to promote these pictures. And you need to decide what the price will be for a poster. Or if you can sell in another way. Every time that you're taking new pictures, you need to have a system behind showing you what you do with that. A lot of artists produce a lot of art pieces and they just struggle with all this storage of things that they can never sell because they don't know what to do with that after producing. That's why you need to create a system. That's why you need to create a routine. If you have no idea and how to plan your day, how to decide what tasks you need to do, how to create your own systems, or even how to start your artistic business, there is no problem. I'm here exactly because of that. I have a dream that no artist will give up of their dreams to be a full-time artist, and I will help you to do that. Okay, so that's why I developed a 3-month program that will teach you everything that you need to know to start your business. We talked about how to create your brand, how to create your strategy, how to develop your message, how find your target market, how know what tasks you need to do, and also how you put your price, where you're gonna sell your art, how you're going to solve these problems and several others. It's everything that you need to know to become a full-time artist. If you want to know more about that, please go to this website and book a call with me. I can talk to you and we can solve this problem so you will keep being an artist. Thanks for being here today, guys, and I hope that you have an amazing and super artistic week. See you next week on this channel that I'm trying to be constant in. Okay? Bye! Beijos de luz!